So I just thought I'd do a video about some LED strip that I bought in the reduced section of IKEA, and it came with like a roll of LED strip, some connectors, and then so this is, I think, the system. Well, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna make now, just with those three. But what I realised why it was in the reduced section. So this was on the plug socket. It came with a plug socket, so I'll show you where I'm going with it. So eventually it's gonna go under this shelf, so it's quite dark down here, so I can't really see much. I mean, there's a light on my phone now, so you can't really tell, but it is quite dark down here. So I printed a switch off here, so I can just, and then I had that switch in stock. And that is an IKEA one, so that was connected to that, down to the plug socket. But that was blocking that from turning on. So I tested it all with multimeter and stuff like that, and yeah, just there was no power coming through this, past this. So I chopped it off and put my own cable there. Yeah, and then I think I chopped that off, because that was an IKEA one as well, that. So that's the five prongs there. So go back over here. So how I noticed it was, if you look on this strip to that strip, there's a difference. One says IKEA and the other is like an aftermarket one. So it says IKEA there. But on that entire roll that came with it is unbranded. So it's an aftermarket. So someone has tried putting an aftermarket set, so all those connectors as well, they don't. So the other thing, I had to chop that off and put it on the aftermarket one, because it starts the whole plug off. That goes into the plug socket, and then it's going to connect to these three round there. But I needed that end, and that was a massive mess about that, chopping that off, and then I had to solder that back on, and then I put some glue to, like, so you have to chop away at this rubber. So the reason why I'm making this video is because it took longer than it needed to. If I'd have I looked on YouTube for a video and there wasn't one. There's loads of LED strips, but they all seem to be different videos of all different strips. But if you chop that rubber away, then you buy this aftermarket, these connectors, which are on Amazon, and that so that's just going in the bin now, because I've chopped both ends off, so can't use it anymore, and it's the only bit of IKEA strip anyway, so I can just use the aftermarket ones now. But yeah, to get that on, you've got to poke them up, them things up, and then there's like a lip there I chopped off. I don't think I did. Oh yeah, I did a bit on there. You sort of see it. There's like a little groove there. Chop that off, just because it was too harsh when you close it. You'll see what I mean on the fresh one. It's quite. Then yeah, you chop the rubber off, and then close it, and it all lines up in there. So it's the last bit. I just like squashed it with that. Squashed it shut. That on there. But yeah, just thought I'd share that bit because there was nothing on YouTube that was useful. So they won't fit. You know, there's nothing for them to plug into. So when you're buying these aftermarket connector sets, make sure there's an end, a female end like that, because if you don't have that on the strip itself, sorry, trying to film with it, there's nothing for these to go into. You need a yeah. But on this strip, so when you're buying strip, maybe don't buy this one. Yeah, I thought you'd cut along the scissor line there. So there's a pair of scissors there. I thought you'd cut at the side of it, but you don't. You cut down the middle. So there's solder on each side, and then I think underneath there is a copper strip all the way along, which makes it conductive to all the circuits. So I noticed that when I was doing that, there's like a copper strip underneath. So I don't think, like when you're cutting into that rubber, it's a bit scary, like chopping into it, thinking it's like doing something, but it's not. It's just like to protect the LEDs, you know, it's just a bit of glue. So it doesn't actually perform anything with, you know, electronically. It just, yeah, it's just for protection of people when they're poking it into, you know, don't damage. So you just chop away that a bit and peel it away. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't enjoyable doing that. So yeah, I hope that helps. Probably don't buy this set, but if you're stuck with it like me, like this was just sat on top of my laser engraver for about 2 years. But yeah, I think that's why it ended up in the reduced section. They ran out of LEDs, bought an aftermarket set online, didn't know how to do it, so they just shoved it in and took it back. With loads of it missing. Apparently there were supposed to be a remote with that, and it didn't come with one. So don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. Might just bin it. Yeah, that's it. when you I've already done it on this one. I'm doing it again because I had to put this plastic bit of 3D printed like a bracket for it to screw onto the roof of. Anyway, if you just, you're probably better off doing it with tweezers because they're quite, you don't want to break these. You push these two end ones in a bit because they're a bit bow, some of them, a bit bow-legged. Yeah, and then when you, so the power is, that's the positive one, the white one. The negative is the black. And that one, and that one, the three, so the green, red and blue are for like changing colours of the LED, which I have no interest in, so that's why I chopped that out, because I don't plan on doing it. So those three are just redundant, because in the plug I chopped them out, so there's no, they're just dead. There's nothing going through. But yeah, the white is positive. So it actually says on the side of the LED strip, if you look on the side, it says 22 volt on one side, and that'd be where the white one goes. Don't know why these are wrong way around, but you know, they're positive and negative. That'll have been possibly a factory error. Yeah, it says there 22 volts. So it's the white one, it's the positive. Yeah, you just close that. It can be a bit tight, so I used some it's clipped in there. Ready for the next bit. So yeah, I've finished it now. Just packing away. But the tool tip for today is the Omi Fixo. Don't know how you spell it, so I got this off the site. Well, my brother bought it for my birthday. You can connect a power source to it, and you take these rubber cuffs off, and you can test like circuit boards with a live connection. So, and the gripping feels so much better than them crocodile clip thing. And it all packs away into this. I didn't even have to 3D print this as well. You can, but it actually came with it. I think that many people were 3D printing them. The company actually just started making them. It all like folds away to like nothing. So I don't always have this next to my desk. It's sometimes like in the garage, you know, it's not accessible, but I always have this next to my desk in case I need to do any soldering, because it's small and it packs away into like nothing. Obviously that's quite big, but that's more for like mobile. You know, I did some solar panels once on the garage roof with this, and I didn't need to leave the garage roof. I did the whole job thing on the roof. I didn't need to leave it. everything I needed is on there. Adam Savage on the Mythbusters guy, he first invented these, and this is Mark 3, I think, of it. So it looked different before, and then he chopped his down, so then I chopped mine, so it used to be quite higher. Then he like chopped his in half, and got rid of loads of stuff he didn't need. And then I sort of did the same thing, but then did my own thing as well. I got rid of some stuff that I kept, and then I suppose it's what's unique to you and what tools you have and what you're willing to spend as well, because his lock line's a lot better than mine. But I got the same with them. You can buy a set of them for 20 quid off Amazon, but you have to take them off something and put them on something else. Obviously you take them off that and then put them on this, but they are quite good. They're good for like wiring, you know, if you're standing up or something, but if you just sat down you might as well use that. But this is 4 on there. 4. I needed to do that with 4 clamps, because you like grab onto it at 4 different places so it doesn't move about. With them it's alright for just doing a piece of wire, but that's not really designed for that. This sort of thing. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can 3D print them. There's designs all over the internet. But the finished product is. You can see what I'm doing now if I need to go under there and switch it. It's a bit messy, but I'll tidy it up at some point, but for today I'm happy with what I've done. I just need to stick them wires somewhere or something. You can't see them, so, but I will tidy it up at some point, but yeah, happy with that. And then you can just see it's quite dark, isn't it? You're trying to find something on there, or yeah, it's just a bit annoying. Bit messy when you look at it like that, but I'll tidy it up. I can't be asked. It's fine for now. Mission accomplished.